Your money isn't disappearing. It's just sneaking out the back door wearing a fake mustache and holding your credit card. Fact 1. The tiny treat trap, aka the latte lie. Everyone's heard that skipping your daily latte could make you rich. Cute theory. Until you realize you're not actually spending on coffee, you're spending on permission. That 6-star oat milk masterpiece isn't caffeine. It's emotional justification disguised as foam art. You're not buying a drink, you're buying the illusion that you deserve it after surviving another Zoom call that could have been an email. And that's the glitch. The small daily indulgence that feels too insignificant to matter quietly compounds into a budget black hole. Psychologists call it the pain of paying effect. Every small, painless purchase bypasses your financial alarm system. So you sip, scroll, repeat. You tell yourself, it's just $5, forgetting you've said that 300 times this year. The real danger isn't the latte. It's the ritual of unconscious spending dressed up as self-care. Because nothing says, I'm financially responsible, like burning through a car payment in foam hearts and whipped cream. Fact 2. The subscription graveyard. Your credit card is basically running an orphanage for forgotten subscriptions. Somewhere out there, a digital yoga app, a productivity tool, and a documentary streaming service are still living their best lives on your dime, even though you haven't logged in since 2022. You didn't cancel because you're lazy. You didn't cancel because of hope. Hope that one day you'll suddenly become the kind of person who wakes up early to meditate, tracks expenses in spreadsheets, and watches 4-hour documentaries about the Roman Empire. Spoiler, you won't. Studies show the average person wastes over $200 a year on unused subscriptions. Not because they can't afford it, but because they forget it exists. Companies know this. That's why cancel is buried in a maze of hidden links that feel like a side quest in emotional endurance. And when you finally find it, they hit you with, "Are you sure? We'll miss you." No, Netflix, you won't. You're just manipulating my guilt while you charge me to rewatch The Office for the 9th time. You're not being loyal. You're paying rent on your own procrastination. Fact 3. The discount delusion. You don't save money when you buy things on sale. You just spend money slower. The 50% off sign doesn't mean you're winning. It means a marketing intern just Jedi mind tricked you into believing you're a financial genius for spending cash you wouldn't have otherwise touched. You walk into a store needing socks and somehow leave with a waffle maker, 3 scented candles, and a rug you don't even like. Because they were practically free. That's not a discount. That's a bribe with glitter on it. The truth is, your brain treats sales like a psychological slot machine. Every limited offer triggers dopamine, that same chemical that makes gambling addictive. You're not shopping, you're chasing the high of getting a deal. Retailers know this, which is why they price something at $99.99 instead of $100. It's the same number, but your brain reads it as bargain. Every buy one, get one is actually buy one you didn't need and get another to clutter your house. You tell yourself you saved money, but in reality, you just paid full price for a financial illusion. Because nothing says responsible adult like bragging about how much you saved on stuff you never needed in the first place. Fact 4. The loyalty program. Trap loyalty points are just adult participation trophies for spending money you didn't need to spend. You think you're gaming the system, but the system's gaming you. Every swipe of that rewards card releases a little hit of pride, as if you just outsmarted capitalism by earning 5 cents in flight miles. Meanwhile, you just spent $80 on candles because you were so close to reaching gold member status. Spoiler, gold member status doesn't make you rich, it makes you predictable. Retailers figured out long ago that loyalty programs don't reward loyalty, they manufacture it. They create artificial milestones to keep you emotionally invested in spending. You tell yourself you're collecting points, but really you're collecting excuses. Excuses to overspend, to justify another haul, to feel like you're part of some exclusive club of financially enlightened shoppers. You're not a VIP. You're a lab rat pressing the dopamine button every time Starbucks says Double Stars Day. The cruelest part? Most people never even cash in the points. They expire quietly, like forgotten dreams and unused gym memberships. And just like that, your free flight becomes a $3,000 receipt for being loyal to your own financial downfall. Fact 5. The budget gym membership. There's no fantasy stronger than the New Year, New Me gym membership, except maybe the fantasy that it's a financial investment in your health. Every January, millions of people march into gyms like they're entering a temple of transformation. They sign the contract, buy the overpriced protein powder, and tell themselves, this time, it's different. Then February shows up, and suddenly your treadmill time has turned into Netflix cardio. Yet the payments keep coming, like a passive-aggressive reminder that your motivation has a billing cycle. Gyms love this. Their entire business model depends on you not showing up. If every member actually attended, they'd have to hold yoga classes in the parking lot. Behavioral economists even have a term for this: the optimism fallacy. You overestimate your future discipline and underestimate your present laziness. You're not paying for workouts. You're paying for the idea of being the kind of person who works out. And that idea is expensive. By the end of the year, you've spent hundreds on something that's given you exactly one workout. The emotional gymnastics of justifying the monthly charge. Congratulations, your fitness journey is now a charity donation to the gods of procrastination. Fact 6. The treat yourself. Tax. Nothing drains a wallet faster than the modern religion of self-care. You know the one, where buying a $40 candle is called therapy and online shopping at 2 a.m. is healing your inner child. Somewhere along the line, capitalism rebranded impulse buying as emotional wellness, and we all said, sounds legit. The logic goes like this: you've had a rough week, you deserve it. But somehow, every week is a rough week, and it keeps getting more expensive. You don't just treat yourself, you're slowly taxing your future self for every bad day your present self can't emotionally handle. Retail therapy is the financial equivalent of putting a Band-Aid on a bullet wound. It covers the pain for 5 minutes, but the debt is still bleeding underneath. The worst part? These self-care purchases are designed to feel virtuous. A face mask, a new outfit, a spa day, all masquerading as mental health, when in reality it's just marketing wearing a yoga robe. Because nothing says inner peace like maxing out your credit card to feel calm for 12 minutes. You're not healing. You're financing your serotonin on a 19% interest rate. Fact 7. The free shipping scam. Ah yes, the modern gladiator arena of bad decisions. The checkout page. You're seconds away from victory. But then it appears. Add $12.43 more for free shipping. And suddenly, you're in a psychological chokehold. You start rationalizing like a Wall Street analyst. Well, I could buy something else I don't need so I don't have to pay for shipping I also don't need. That's how you end up with a glow-in-the-dark stapler, 3 novelty mugs, and a Bluetooth banana slicer, all because you refused to waste $5 on delivery. You didn't beat the system. You just paid $40 to avoid a $5 fee. Retailers know this trick works because it triggers your brain's hatred of loss, a little cognitive glitch called loss aversion. You'd rather overpay and feel like a winner than admit you lost to logistics. It's not free shipping. It's emotional blackmail dressed in Helvetica. And let's be honest, half the time the free shipping takes 3 weeks and comes in packaging big enough to bury a small car. But hey, at least you saved $5 while spending $40 on nonsense. Economically speaking, that's like lighting a candle with a $20 bill. Technically warm, financially stupid. Fact 8. The credit card mirage. Credit cards are like tiny pieces of plastic confidence. They whisper, "You can afford this," while quietly planning your financial funeral. Swiping doesn't feel like spending, it feels like magic. You tap, walk away, and your brain registers nothing. No pain, no guilt, no awareness, just the sweet illusion that money isn't real if it's digital. Psychologists call this the decoupling effect. When the act of paying is separated from the act of buying, your brain literally forgets that consequences exist. That's why a $200 dinner feels like a splurge with cash but a reward with a card. And then the bill arrives, looking like a ransom note from your past self. You stare at it, half shocked, half impressed, wondering if someone else used your card to live your dream life. Spoiler, that someone was you, but with less common sense and more Chardonnay. The worst part? The minimum payment option. Capitalism's soft whisper saying, "Relax, just give me a little now." Except a little turns into years of interest so high it could fund a small nation. Credit cards don't buy freedom. They rent it at 29.9% APR. You're not building credit, you're building character through suffering. Fact 9. The sale season. Spiral Black Friday, Cyber Monday, Early Access Week. Every November, millions of rational adults willingly enter Digital Thunderdome to battle over TVs, toasters, and trauma. You tell yourself you're saving money, but you're not saving. You're spending strategically stupid. Retailers know exactly what they're doing. The flashing timers, the fake urgency, the only 3 left in stock panic button. It's all engineered adrenaline. It's not shopping. It's psychological warfare with a checkout button. The average shopper spends 30% more during sales than they plan to, but walks away feeling victorious, because apparently, financial ruin feels better when it's 40% off. The best part? Half the discounts aren't even real. Stores inflate prices weeks before, then slash them back to normal and call it generosity. It's like your ex crashing your car, repainting it, and claiming they improved it. But we fall for it every year, because nothing feeds human ego like the illusion of getting a deal. You don't need another Bluetooth speaker or a 7th pair of sneakers. What you need is an exorcism for your inner bargain hunter, the one that whispers, "It's on sale. It'd be stupid not to buy it." No, the stupidity is thinking you just made money by spending it. Fact 10. The future you fraud. Every bad purchase you make comes with the same excuse. Future me will handle it. Future you, that mythical creature with endless discipline, better habits, and somehow extra income. You treat them like your personal accountant / therapist / cleaning service. Future me will pay off this debt. Future me will cancel that subscription. Future me will definitely start meal prepping instead of ordering takeout again. Except future. You doesn't exist. There's just you, a week from now, staring at your bank app like it just insulted your ancestors. Psychologists call this the temporal discounting trap. Your brain values immediate pleasure more than future pain. You'll take a $5 dopamine hit today, even if it means $500 in regret later. And corporations love that about you. Every buy now, pay later button is just a polite way of saying, hey, let's screw future you together. The cruel irony? Future you never gets richer, calmer, or smarter because present you keeps looting their wallet like it's a time travel heist. Eventually, future you becomes present you, sitting in the same financial quicksand, Googling how to adult with a maxed-out credit card and a 1,000-yard stare. Fact 11. The experience economy. Scam. Once upon a time, people wasted money on stuff. Now we waste it on experiences. Because apparently, going broke in the name of making memories feels more spiritual. You've seen it. The $800 weekend getaway for the vibes, the $200 dinner for the aesthetic, or the $100 concert ticket for the memories that you mostly watched through your phone screen. Marketers call it the experience economy, the idea that we value moments over material things. But here's the plot twist. Those moments are still products, just with better Instagram filters. You're not buying happiness, you're buying content. That trip to Bali wasn't soul-searching, it was a rebrand. And the only thing you actually discovered was how bad the Wi-Fi was. The psychology is brutal. Studies show people justify overspending on experiences because they feel less wasteful than buying objects. But the financial hangover hits the same. The beach photos fade, the food digests, the memory evaporates, the debt doesn't. Yet every influencer whispering collect moments, not things, conveniently forgets to mention they're collecting sponsorship checks. You can't meditate your way out of a negative balance. Sometimes the best experience is staying home, cooking pasta, and not needing a GoFundMe to get back from your spiritual awakening. Fact 12. The DIY Disaster Fund. You know what's more expensive than hiring a professional? Not hiring one. Every year, millions of people decide they can save money by fixing, building, or renovating something themselves, armed with nothing but misplaced confidence and a YouTube tutorial filmed in 240p. You tell yourself, why pay $300 for a plumber when I can just do it myself? Cut to, your kitchen flooded, your ego shattered, and your wallet begging for mercy. This is called the illusion of thrift. When you mistake effort for savings, you didn't save $300. You spent $200 repairing your $300 mistake. And let's not forget the investment in tools you'll never use again. That drill, sander, and laser. Level currently gathering dust in your garage like trophies from the battle of bad decisions. The irony? Half of DIY projects end with calling a professional anyway. Except now, you get charged extra because they have to undo your creativity. You weren't being frugal, You were being optimistic with power tools. There's a fine line between saving money and starring in your own financial horror movie, and it usually begins with the phrase, "How hard could it be?" Answer, hard enough to cost you a paycheck and your dignity. Fact 13. The side hustle mirage. Once upon a time, people had hobbies. Now they have multiple income streams that barely pay for coffee. Somewhere between motivational podcasts and Instagram grind culture, we decided that every passion must be monetized, and that burnout is just the price of ambition. So you start a fun little side hustle, selling candles, editing videos, or reselling sneakers. You convince yourself it's an investment in freedom, but let's be real, it's a part-time job you pay yourself to do. You pour hours, energy, and money into building a brand, only to make $73 in profit and lose the will to live. Studies show that more than 60% of side hustlers actually lose money once they factor in time, taxes, and expenses. But hustle culture doesn't care. It tells you to keep grinding, as if sleep and sanity are optional upgrades. The truth is, your side hustle isn't building wealth. It's tricking you into thinking exhaustion is empowerment. You're not escaping the 9 to 5, you're recreating it in your living room with worse lighting and no health insurance. Sometimes the most profitable move isn't another hustle. It's accepting that your free time doesn't have to earn interest. Fact 14. The someday savings lie. You keep saying you'll start saving someday. You know, when the timing's right, when you're making more, when life finally calms down. Except, spoiler, life never calms down. Someday is financial code for never. The biggest money leak in your life isn't your spending, it's your waiting. You tell yourself saving now doesn't matter because it's just a little. But that little is what compounds into freedom, or disappears into frappuccinos. Economists call this the present bias, the human obsession with right now over what actually matters later. You think you'll save more once you earn more. But here's the kicker. Lifestyle inflation will always outrun your paycheck. Every raise becomes a new reason to upgrade your life instead of your bank account. I deserve it, you say. Sure. But future, you deserves not to panic every time rent is due. The brutal truth. You don't need a financial miracle, you need momentum. Even $10 saved now beats $100 promised later. Because someday doesn't exist. It's just a polite way to describe the place where your good intentions go to die. And with that, congrats. You've just completed the financial horror show that is modern adulthood, which, subtle mistake, is draining your wallet the fastest. Confess below. Your therapist already knows anyway. So, there you have it. 14 perfectly legal ways to bankrupt yourself while thinking you're being responsible. Money doesn't disappear, it just quietly escapes through every tiny decision you swore didn't count. Which one's your signature move? The latte, the loyalty scam, or the DIY disaster? Drop your financial sins in the comments. Misery loves company, and at least this time, oversharing is free.